Welcome to Series Addict. When Daredevil Born Again was first announced, Marvel fans around the world had two very different reactions. On one hand, there was genuine excitement. The return of Charlie Cox as Matt Murdock was something many of us had been hoping for ever since the original Daredevil ended far too soon. On the other hand, there was understandable skepticism. Could Marvel Studios really capture the same gritty tone, emotional depth, and brutal realism that made the Netflix series one of the greatest comic book adaptations ever produced? The first season of Born Again answered that question with cautious optimism. It was not perfect, but it proved that the creative team understood what made this character so compelling. It respected the past while setting the stage for something new. But Season 2 is where the series truly earns its title. This is not just another chapter in Matt Murdock's story. This is a full-scale descent into darkness, a season that pushes every character to their breaking point, deepens the moral conflicts, and delivers some of the most powerful storytelling Marvel has produced in years. If Season 1 was about rebuilding the world of Daredevil, Season 2 is about tearing it apart. And the result is one of the strongest seasons of superhero television in recent memory. The story picks up with Matt Murdock in one of the most fragile emotional states we have ever seen. He is still trying to convince himself that the legal system can deliver justice. He wants to believe that the law matters. He wants to believe that he can protect the innocent without becoming the violent vigilante he once was. But Hell's Kitchen has other plans. Crime is evolving, corruption is spreading, the institutions Matt once trusted are beginning to crumble, and looming over all of it is the ever-present shadow of Wilson Fisk. Vincent D'Onofrio once again delivers a masterclass performance as Fisk. At this point, it is almost impossible to imagine another actor playing this role. He is terrifying without needing to shout. He is emotionally complex without losing his sense of menace. Every scene he appears in carries an undercurrent of tension because you know that violence could erupt at any moment. Season 2 presents Fisk as a man who has evolved beyond the role of traditional crime boss. He understands that true power comes from controlling systems. Politics, media, law enforcement, and public perception become his most effective weapons. And that makes him more dangerous than ever. One of the greatest strengths of the season is the ideological conflict between Matt and Fisk. They are not simply enemies. They are two men who genuinely believe they are trying to save the city, but whose methods could not be more different. Matt believes in redemption. Fisk believes in control. Matt fights for justice. Fisk fights for order. This philosophical battle gives the series a level of thematic depth that many superhero stories never achieve. Charlie Cox delivers what may be the finest performance of his career. He has always understood Matt Murdock as a character divided between faith and rage, compassion and violence, hope and despair. Season 2 pushes those contradictions further than ever before. Cox communicates so much with subtle gestures and expressions. In courtroom scenes, you can see the exhaustion in his face. In conversations with friends, you sense the burden he carries. And when he puts on the mask, every movement feels driven by desperation as much as determination. This season asks whether Matt can remain a hero without losing himself, and Charlie Cox makes that question feel painfully real. The writing is significantly stronger and more focused than in the first season. The pacing is tighter, the themes are clearer, and nearly every subplot contributes to the larger narrative. There is a confidence to the storytelling that was occasionally missing before. The writers no longer seem preoccupied with proving that this series belongs alongside the original. Instead, they embrace what makes Daredevil unique. This is a character study wrapped in a crime thriller, a legal drama infused with spiritual conflict, a superhero story that is more interested in consequences than spectacle. The courtroom sequences are particularly effective. They are not treated as filler between action scenes. They are essential to the narrative and reinforce the central question of whether justice can truly exist within a broken system. Matt Murdock is a lawyer because he believes in the law. Daredevil exists because he knows the law often fails. Season 2 explores that contradiction with remarkable intelligence. Visually, the series is stunning. The cinematography leans into shadows, reflections, and moody urban environments. New York City once again feels like a living, breathing character rather than a generic backdrop. Rain-soaked streets, flickering neon signs, dimly lit churches, and claustrophobic alleyways create an atmosphere that feels both cinematic and intimate. The production design captures the grit and realism that fans associate with Daredevil. And then there is the action. Yes, Season 2 delivers. The fight choreography remains among the best in the genre. Every punch feels heavy, every injury matters. The violence is intense, but never gratuitous. What makes the action so effective is that it is always tied to character. Matt does not fight because the script needs excitement. He fights because he has no other choice. Each battle reveals something about his emotional state. Sometimes he is controlled and focused. Sometimes he is reckless and consumed by anger. The physical confrontations become extensions of his internal struggle. There are several standout sequences throughout the season, including a jaw-dropping long-take fight that rivals the most memorable moments from the Netflix era. These scenes are not merely technical showcases. They are storytelling at its most visceral. Supporting characters are also given meaningful development. The relationships in Matt's life feel authentic and emotionally grounded. Friends challenge him, allies question his decisions, enemies exploit his weaknesses. The dialogue is sharp and often deeply personal. Characters speak like human beings rather than exposition machines. This emotional realism gives the series a sense of weight that many superhero projects lack. But perhaps the most impressive achievement of Season 2 is its tone. This is a mature, serious drama that respects its audience. It does not rely on constant jokes to diffuse tension. It is willing to slow down and let emotional moments breathe. It trusts viewers to engage with complex themes involving morality, faith, justice, and power. In an era where many comic book stories chase spectacle, Daredevil, Born Again, Season 2 proves that intimate storytelling can be far more powerful. And that is exactly why this series stands apart, as impressive as Daredevil. Born Again. Season 2 is not entirely without flaws. Even the strongest television seasons have elements that feel less polished. And while this season reaches extraordinary heights, there are a few issues that keep it from being truly flawless. The most noticeable criticism involves the pacing in the middle portion of the season. While the opening episodes are gripping and the final stretch is phenomenal, a couple of chapters in the middle slow the momentum. These episodes focus heavily on character introspection and political maneuvering. Although this material is often well-written and thematically important, some viewers may feel that the narrative temporarily loses urgency. This is not a major problem, but it does create a slight imbalance. The series occasionally spends so much time exploring emotional and philosophical themes that certain supporting characters receive less attention than they deserve. A few storylines are introduced with considerable promise, only to be resolved more quickly than expected. This is particularly noticeable when compared to the carefully layered structure of the original Netflix series, where almost every subplot felt essential and fully developed. Another minor issue is that some viewers may find the tone relentlessly heavy. Season 2 is unapologetically dark. It deals with guilt, corruption, violence, and spiritual crisis with very little comedic relief. For many fans, this is precisely what they want from Daredevil. But audiences who prefer a lighter, more conventional Marvel experience may find the atmosphere emotionally exhausting. That said, the darkness serves a purpose. It reflects the psychological state of Matt Murdock and the increasingly desperate condition of the city he is trying to protect. One of the season's most ambitious strengths is also one of its biggest risks: its focus on moral ambiguity. There are few simple answers here. Characters make painful decisions, heroes fail, villains reveal traces of humanity. Justice is often imperfect. This complexity makes the story intellectually and emotionally rewarding, but it also demands patience and attention from the viewer. The season does not spoon-feed its themes. It expects the audience to think, and that is one of the reasons why the show feels so refreshing. The final episodes are nothing short of spectacular. Without revealing major spoilers, the emotional payoff is immense. Long-running conflicts reach a satisfying climax, character arcs come full circle, and the concluding moments leave viewers with a profound sense of anticipation for what may come next. The confrontation between Matt Murdock and Wilson Fisk is especially powerful. It is not simply a physical showdown. It is the culmination of two world views colliding. And it delivers exactly the kind of emotional intensity fans hope to see. Cox and Vincent D'Onofrio elevate every scene they share. Their performances remind us that great superhero storytelling is not defined by costumes or special effects. It is defined by compelling characters and meaningful conflict. Season 2 also reinforces why Daredevil remains one of Marvel's most enduring heroes. Matt Murdock is not invincible. He is vulnerable, flawed, and often overwhelmed by doubt. But he continues to fight. Not because he believes he will always win, but because he believes that some battles are worth fighting regardless of the outcome. That idea lies at the heart of the character, and Season 2 captures it beautifully. In many ways, this season represents the best of what Marvel television can be. It is mature without being cynical, intense without being hollow, stylish without sacrificing substance. Most importantly, it treats its audience with respect. It understands that superhero stories can be exciting while also exploring profound themes about morality, faith, justice, and the human capacity for redemption. Few series achieve this balance as effectively as Daredevil, and even fewer maintain it after being revived years later. That is why Born Again Season 2 feels so remarkable. It does not merely continue a beloved story, it expands and deepens it. It proves that the character still has new emotional territory to explore. And it confirms that Matt Murdock remains one of the richest and most compelling heroes in modern television. So, what is the final verdict? Daredevil. Born Again. Season 2 is a triumphant continuation that honors the legacy of the original series while confidently forging its own identity. Its writing is intelligent, its performances are exceptional, its action sequences are visceral, and its themes resonate long after the credits roll. The pacing occasionally stumbles, and a few supporting arcs could have been explored further, but these are minor issues in an otherwise outstanding season. This is not just one of the best Marvel shows in recent years. It is one of the best superhero television seasons of the decade. If you are a longtime Daredevil fan, this season will likely exceed your expectations. If you are new to the character, it serves as a powerful reminder of how emotionally rich comic book storytelling can be. And if you have been waiting for Marvel to deliver a series with genuine depth, tension, and maturity, your wait is over. Daredevil is back. And he has never been better. If you enjoyed this review, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and share your thoughts in the comments below. Did Daredevil Born Again Season 2 live up to the legacy of the original series? Let us know.